So this is a live session on goal setting, importance of goal setting across all ages in your business and career, in life, even for children. So I'm here with a special guest, and for those that will be listening to this even after this session, okay, some people are joining. Mm. For this person, I'm not going live with you. Okay. Oops. I hope the person is not going to. Okay. Anyway, a few people joined. I don't know. Somebody is trying to join and trying to make a request. So I can see one or two people that have joined. Okay. Welcome, welcome. I think this is Oga himself, right? Okay. It's nice to have you join us. So I'm waving here as well. Okay. So like I was saying, I was just trying to do a brief introduction on what we are having today. So this is goal setting for all ages. So it's not just about people in business, not just about career people, but everyone. So and one of the reasons why I brought Adiola Shotanade permission from Oga himself to this show is that I want her to throw more light to goal setting. Especially, it's quite interesting when you hear that even children like teens and teens can actually set goals, for themselves even at that age, and why they need to do that. So she's going to be giving us a little bit of background on. But before then, so while we are still waiting for more people to join us, I'll just do a brief introduction on Adnola. I didn't share that in some of the posts and all that sent across. So, but a little bit about her. So she has over a decade of experience working with children of all ages from different parts of the world. So that's wow, that's interesting to know. So her passion for young children was started when she volunteered in a childhood church for some years, and then she decided to take up a full role even with the church in the children's department. So she's managed hundreds of children, and she's taught as well. So but over time she set up so I'll just there's a lot to read. I'm not going to read all of that. So she has a lot to her name. So but she over time she has started an academy, Starlight Academy, where she provides online and physical extracurricular activities or programs for children. Different things that they do. They read books, play games, make creative things, and boost their self-confidence and leadership skills. So that part of it ties to what we are going to be talking about today. And goal setting, it's something that if you're able to set your goals, even right from the start, you'll be able to, you'll be able to put your life in a way in a particular direction, and you'll be able to achieve a lot of things that you're set out to do. So I'll leave the rest to her to talk about. So she's going to briefly introduce. I've done a bit of introduction, right? I don't know, maybe that's brief for her or that's a lot. So, so she will tell us more about herself, about our business more, and why she has decided to do this. So you are just going to put everything in all together. Give us a little bit of background story about your education and what inspired you to do what you're doing. So tell us that before we
Okay.
move to.
Okay. So thank you very much for the opportunity. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for the privilege. So, like you said, my name is Adwala Shotonode, and of course, I've always worked with children. I've worked with children for several years. And then just add to what you said, I'm also a wife and a mother. I've got two daughters, and they're under 5. But then that's based on my family history. So we have 2 girls, and then my husband, and then we all stay in Ibadan together. Your state, Nigeria. That's where I operate from. Of course, I have the Starlight Academy, which is just not just a physical. It's not just a physical academy. We are fully online as well. We have a lot of programs online and physically as well. and there are a lot more to come. So that's just basically what I'm about. I'm about children, mentorship, ensuring that they grow up with the right mindset about themselves, ensuring that they have a good person, somebody beside them to actually walk them through that journey through life before their adult years.
Okay, very interesting to know. I realized I'd not even done an introduction about myself, so I just jumped straight into introducing our guest. So, for those that do not know, so my name is Ola Falokun. I'm a business consultant. I develop the skills and knowledge, for entrepreneurs. So, I basically work with entrepreneurs, and I've done this over 15 years or thereabouts. And a lot of people had actually had cause to work with a lot of entrepreneurs, both startups and growing entrepreneurs. And I think at some point worked with Adola. So that's where I'm actually going. And I want her to also share some interesting things. So we are still going to go into goal setting, but it would be nice to also talk about maybe your experience as an entrepreneur and some of the things that you've done to be able to boost your expertise or to be able to hone up your skills in that area, so that you're not just doing this, and this is for the purpose of those that would probably want to do something around that, and maybe they are nurturing their idea, and they are looking at how profitable can this be, or how do they turn this into business. So especially in that kind of a sector, when it's not like you're running a school business, you're doing something for children, it's important that one is very passionate about this. Just like what I'm doing, I'm very passionate about working with small businesses, but at the same time, tell us some of the things or some of the programs, or what encouraged you in terms of actually programs and other things that you've done to be able to bring you up to speed in turning this creativity thing that you're doing into a business. So tell us about it. Then we'll now go deep dive into the goal setting aspect of this later. Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
wonderful. You
like
can
you
mention
said,
a few things. You can mention a few programs that you had
okay.
gone through that also helped you to boost your knowledge and skills and confidence, because that is very important in business. So
Okay,
just tell
so
us, just throw some light.
like you said from the start, that you have to be passionate about whatever it is that you're doing. It's actually that passion that would help you to thrive. Okay, through it, I want you to want to have more knowledge about what you're doing. So, as an entrepreneur, a business owner, whatever it is that you're on about, you need to actually know your onions really well, know what it is about it, and always try to get more information as much as possible. So anytime I see any opportunity to learn, to relearn, to unlearn, to learn again, I always take it. If there's any training, if there's anyone, whether paid or free, whatever it is, I'm able to, harness the training and get more knowledge about any subject matter. I don't want to miss it. So I'm always doing it. So it's very important for us to be involved in any sort of training that you see that is relevant to what you're doing. So, and if you're an entrepreneur, for instance, or you're working somewhere, or whatever it is you're doing, just make sure that you're getting relevant information, knowledge per time. And now, thankfully, a lot of things are online, and there are a lot of free opportunities online as well, so that it will help you to actually gain mastery of what you're doing. And the one that I did about, I think that was a couple of years ago, that was the Nigerian Youth Initiative, where the Nigerian NTNY, yes,
Transforming Nigerian
Transforming
Youth.
Nigerian Youth. Thank you, Transforming Nigerian Youth. Yes. So it was actually a very rich program that I was in. But I participated in, and it was 100% online. And there were so many courses, there were so many things that you were involved with in the initial stage of the program, and I was able to scale through them. There were videos that you could watch, there were tests that were given at the end of every module, and it was really very, very good, enriching. You can just think about any subject matter. It was covered. HR was covered. Your money management was covered, a lot of aspects of business was covered. And even those that some may not have been too relevant to my business line, but even at that, I was able to learn something new from that training. And at the end of the training, of course, there were other benefits that were attached. That is based on those that finished up the training and were able to complete their modules. So again, you need to ensure that whatever it is you are doing, you're committed to it till the end. Because I didn't even know that there were actually going to be other incentives at the end of the training. I just made sure that I wanted to finish and get my certification and be sure that I was done. And then not knowing that, I'll be contacted afterwards and then paired to mentor and giving, other benefits such as website development. And then I was also given I was also helped with my logo design and branding and amongst other things. So it is important, the training of yourself, your self-development training is actually one that cannot be dodged. It cannot be looked away. You have to actually focus on it and have plans for your self-development as a business owner, as a person that even if you don't have a business, even as an individual on your own, you should be interested in your self-development, because you cannot give what you don't have. If not, there's something if nothing is inside of you, you cannot fetch from a dry well. So you have to be sure that you are enrich yourself so that you can give from the substance that is inside of you, so that you can actually give to others based on that.
I like what you just said now, that you can't fetch from a dry well, definitely. So, talking about self-development and tying this to what we are talking about today, because I really don't want us to digress a lot, and I still want to focus on the topic for today. So how do you want to tie this to, some of the things that you've been able to do, with teens and pre-teens, most especially the people, the set of people that you're dealing with. So how do you incorporate, all this that you're talking about into your coaching and mentoring boot camps that you've started over time? I know that it took a while to be able to solidify or structure, let me put it that way, structure some of these boot camps that you're doing and even to launch it out. So leveraging on the online space was one of the things that I know myself and yourself kept on going back and forth because of how you were going to accommodate. And I kept on saying it's one of the spaces that you have to take advantage of, because it can help you to be able to reach out to more, expand your reach and all of that. So how do you tie all of this together? And what has it helped to do in, taking out, I know you're doing a lot for the boot camp, things like goal setting, leadership, visioning, or vision boarding, talents, maybe discovery and things like that. But goal setting, let's look at that amongst others. So how do you impact this? How does this impact on those ones that you're giving the services to? Because many people will say, let me leave university, let me, finish my schooling and all of that before I start looking at that. But why are you giving it to them at that age? So what kind of impact does it have? So just tell us.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I mean, it's a very interesting question, because most times, like you said, we wait till we are finished our university before we start thinking about our plans for life. We just think that one can wait. Let us read this book and pass, and then we are good, and then we'll now start planning. But at that point, it's a little bit late. The planning for your life should actually start from when somebody is a child. Like, that is actually where the journey begins, because the foundation of everything is the life of that thing. So if the foundation is not strong enough, if you don't even know, where you're going, it might take a while to actually, and that's what's happening to a lot of young people today. It will take a while to now go back to the drawing board and try to get to a point where, okay, what is my life about? That's when you start asking yourself, what is my purpose? What do I want to do? Gun. What am I on about? It is already too late at that time. So for us at Starlight Kids Academy, we've seen this loophole, and we're like, what? Let us start training children. Let us start mentoring them on how they can set goals for their life at a very young age. You save them 10 years, wasting 10 years doing a lot of things that don't matter to them, a lot of things that they shouldn't even be having themselves involved in, if they're able to get their track on the right spot at part time. So we start from a little age. You start giving them that sense of responsibility, that sense of consciousness. From, I mean, we start with practice because we believe that from the age of 8, you are able to, understand concepts. You're able to know what it is to set a little goal and achieve that goal. Okay, this month, I want to be able to pass all my exams, 80% the list. That is a goal. Okay, how are you going to do that? And then you teach them how to itemize. Okay, I have to read my books more. Okay, I have to cut down my TV time. Okay, I have to get more books that make sense. Okay, I have this schedule. We used to wake up by 7 a.m. before. Okay, I have to wake up earlier because I want to read more. You have to keep on making sure that the child has that consciousness of, okay, I need to have this responsibility, this responsible mindset attached. I need to be responsible for my life. I'm not too young to be responsible for my life. At the age of 8, I can actually be able to pinpoint my achievable goals, the goals that I've actually set and achieved them. It's something that we can do. And you will realize that, you know what, there's nothing that is impossible if they are able to put their mind at it. We train them also to know that they can achieve anything and everything once they have a plan and once they are determined to do it. And funny enough, when I go through them during these trainings, honestly, I'm always amazed because the mind of a child is like a sponge. It's so pure. It's so unique. There's so many things that you can deposit in them and they will get it per time. But you see, as an adult now, we've already been choked with a lot of information already. And then we already have our own distorted views, sometimes about life, sometimes about concepts. And then that is where the unlearning now comes in for most of us. We have to unlearn a lot of things that we have been, taught unconsciously, some things that were not really right. And at that point, it may take a while. That's why I said sometimes some people take about 10 years to actually get themselves back on the right track. But for me, that's why the passion is there for children. Then we should actually break that that barrier, especially in Africa. The barrier, the mindset that is put on us by maybe our fathers or our grandparents and all that makes us think that you go to school, you come out, go for NYSC, get a job, then you take care of your parents, you get married, you have children, and you die. That culture is actually, and thankfully for the visibility that we're getting online now in the internet space, a lot of that is actually changing. A lot of more awareness is coming. And that is where also I'm also trying to, contribute my own quota to make sure that every child that comes to my space, they're getting the right mindset about your life. You're taking responsibility early enough. Not when you're 21, not when you're finished in university. You're taking responsibility now. You're setting your goals now. You're getting your vision for your life now. It is not too late. I'm a Christian, so maybe I'll talk about one or two stories in the Bible. Forgive me. Now, when when David,
okay, let's take it one at a time. I know there's a lot, and I can see the fire burning, as in I can really feel the heat.
So I teach them some principles from the Bible, and I say, David was a young boy when he started off his life, and he was able to defeat Goliath when he was a child. And that means that his mind was already formed just before that experience. If not, he would not have been able to do that. And what also used to trigger me was there were adults there as well that did not really actually get the concept of, believing in yourself and be able to take up responsibility, believing in what who you are, believing in whatever principles that you have laid. That's just basically the story of David and Goliath. And I try to bring out all the stories which happen for real, and then put that sense of responsibility again in their heart that, you can do it from this age. You're not too young to be responsible for your life. And that is what I always do. And, they always, eventually get the concept and they start running with it. And then they make sure that, they're able to pinpoint one or two things that they can change and be better at from that young age.
Thank you so much. In fact, I've taken in a lot to myself, and I can see the energy, the passion. So if you're actually giving them all of this now, and I can also resonate with a lot of things that you're saying, because even as a Christian, we normally say something. A lot of times we say a lot of things, but we don't act it. Because even there's a scripture that says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can a righteous man do? That kind of thing. So we can even tie some of these things together. We need to lay a good foundation, for our children. And many people, because of our busy schedule and all of that, we see all sorts of things online, and people are like, oh, what am I doing? I'm working for my children, I'm working for my kids. All the stress, all the labor, all of that is to be able to give them a comfortable life. Forgetting certain things that we need to do together. In one of my posts, I was like, many people just try to indulge and just let me just give you this one and keep yourself busy while I'm doing my own thing. Even the time that you have to spend with them, how much time do you spend? So that's why Adrola here is providing, opportunities for parents. Some parents don't even know what to do with their children at some particular ages that they are, and as they develop, they find it more difficult because they don't even know. And the way we were trained, just like you said, is the way some people want to train their children, forgetting that things are changing. A lot of things have evolved with time. So tell them about when you are going to have, because some people are going to see this. And thank you so much, Oye Council, for saying this. You didn't join late, so you still joined at a good time, and you're going to hear a lot. And even afterwards, this is not the live is going to be online, so you have access to it, and we'll also put it on YouTube. We'll share all that information with you. Please just follow myself or follow Adwola on our page, and she will be able to let you know how you can get the replay of this. So tell people, especially parents, guidance, and people that would actually find this interesting and will be able to take advantage that this is going to be beneficial to. Tell them when you're going to be having the next boot camp that they can, they can enroll their children for, or whoever they're taking care of, so they can be part of this. Because I know many
Okay.
people will see this even beyond the ones that joined us live, and they will just want to join them and tell them
Thank
the
you so
details.
much. Okay, so it's called the mentorship boot camp. Yes, like you said, and then it's a 3 month based boot camp. Like we have about 18 modules that we teach to children per time. Now it's 100% online, okay, and it's for from preteens upwards. So we're doing it from ages 8 and above. So if you have a child that is in that age grade, it's a perfect opportunity for you to, take this and start grooming them in the right, path, so that you don't have to have headache on them when they are a lot older. Okay, because you'll have laid their foundation already. It's online. We have 2 sessions per week, 1 hour every time we meet. And then there are a whole lot of things. So our modules are, like we said, goal setting. We've got vision boarding. We have time management. We've got a lot of things. We have purpose driven, how to, know your purpose, why you're on earth. Like I said, it's never too late. It's never too early, sorry, to start learning why you're on earth, what purpose it is that you're on earth, what God has created you for. Yes, so we talk about that. We teach them about that. We teach them about having a right mindset about themselves. Very important. It helps them not to actually, think that they are worthless. They are less than what they really are. So we teach them about that. We teach them also about talent discovery. A lot of us didn't know about our talents until much later in life. A lot of us, had finished school before we knew that we had this skill that we're good at, and that skill. So as a child, we teach them their talents, how they can actually discover their talents and actually use their talents for a common good of all. So using it in the right way, and being a better person by doing that. A whole lot of things involved. And after
Okay,
every
so
session, there's always, a write-up for them to do. There's always a task, there's always an activity, there's always something for them to take home to just do, and then there's always a report given. We always give the parents at the end of the day, we have a very robust report on the status of their children at the end of the training program.
okay, somebody here, I mean, is owing councils that wants to know, how do I help my 4-year-old to set goals? So, I mean, I don't know if you help people of that age range, or it's a little bit about, but maybe you can shed more light. At least if you're working with preteens, you have an idea of what to do. So
Okay,
you want to
yes.
share?
So yes, I do work with preteens. My mentorship program is for the preteens and above. But I do work with the young ones too. In fact, 0 to 5 years actually my first baby, my first love, as I'll put it, because those are primitive years. So very quickly, how can I help my 4-year-old set goals? It's actually quite simple. You start very small. You start from the little things that he or she can actually identify with. So you identify the goal that you want your child to actually start setting. Okay, you want her to cut down on the TV time. I want her to focus more on her studies. So you sit down with her and have a conversation with her. Oh, Ademide, guess what? We need to talk. Oh, I want you to have better plans for your life going forward. I want you to read your book more. And she's like, Mommy, read my book. Why? I want to watch TV. Yes, you watch TV. But first, we have to write down the things that you're going to have to do before I can allow you to do this. And then you have to write it down. The importance of writing down these things is that she can actually also follow through with what, so she will agree with you. So it's not like you're just telling her, this is what you're going to do. You're going to read your 2 books today and 3 things tomorrow. And you're going to do, no, you're both going to have a talk. And then you both agree together. So it's not like you're just dishing out information. She will not listen. She may not listen. Or she might just do it because she's afraid of. So that's not a good way. The good approach would be, let us sit down. Ademide, look at this list. These are the things I want you to do. Which one can you actually do conveniently? Which one can you do happily without stress? And then maybe she picks about 3 on the list. And then you can start with that. Okay, let's go with these 3. Now, number 1, you're going to read your books two times a day. Okay, how do you want to do that? What time do you want to read it? Is it when you wake up in the morning, or after your breakfast, or is it when you come back from school after you've had your shower? When do you want to do it? And then you put a time to it. Everything is written down maybe in a colorful cardboard where she can see it every day, because again, it has to be something appealing. She has to be excited about doing this as well. Okay, the timing, you write the time there that she has already, like I said, has to also agree to the time. Is it okay for you to do it after school? Okay, Mommy, can I do it after I eat my dinner? That's too late. So, okay, Mommy, can I do it after I finished having my bath in the evening? Okay, that sounds fair. And then you both come to an agreement, and then you write it down. And then you tell her, you know what, there has to be incentives for them, ticking off the goals. So you have to show them that you're proud of them. So you will agree again. Again, you have the conversation with that. So what do you think, if you're able to do this for 4 weeks, what do you think, I should get you? What do you think, you deserve? And then she goes, okay, Mommy, I need a new toy. And I want this, I want that. Okay, fine. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But this is after I've ticked all the boxes for 4 weeks. And then we don't have any hassle with it. And she's like, okay, Mommy, okay. And then, you set that goal. And then, as a mother, you watch her regularly. Remind her that, you know what, have you forgotten what our agreement? Go and look at your bedroom chat. You're the one that said it. Have you done it today? Have you done this? You keep, reminding her, keep tracking her. You don't leave her alone. You two, you're also pushing her on. You're also helping her. You're reminding her. You're telling her about the incentive. In 4 weeks, don't come and meet me. If you have not done it, I will not buy it for you, because we agreed. We said it together. It's written down here. Do you understand? From that age, she knows about, okay, if I want more things, I have to do more things. If I want my mommy to respond in a certain way, I have to be more responsible in this way. And she's able to actually be more responsible. Sooner or later, she will get the drill. Initially, it may be hard because, as a 4-year-old, you have your own ideas too about life, and you want to be left alone to play and watch cartoon and be fine. But after having the talk, she will gradually be able to be more responsible to do the things that you want her to do. And then she will, even on her own, she will now eventually come and say, Mommy, I've done the one that we've done. I want to do another one because there's something else I want you to get for me. And then you see that, over time, both parties are actually getting the gist of it. Consistency is key in anything in life. And with goal setting too, we need to be consistent. If you leave her for like 2-3 days, she will forget about her goals. So we need to be every day marking it, harassing her, or not harassing, like giving her the ginger that she needs. Okay, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's be on this. Let's be spot on. Let's read together. Let's do this together. And then with that, it becomes part of her eventually. So I hope I've answered your question, Oye
Yeah.
Campus. Let me know.
Okay. Oyin, can so please drop in the chat box if she had been able to touch on maybe areas of concern, or address the questions I've asked. I just wanted to say a few things as well around this based on my little experience, with children or with my children, especially my son, the preteen. I mean, the one that is within that age range. Growing up, they had always had this thing for phobia. I will put it that way, for especially maths. So it's not just about the extracurricular things. I just want to touch on that. Even the things that they are doing in life, and I mean in school and all of that. Because for him, he can talk from now till tomorrow, I think forever. So when it comes down, that's the talking time for him. Because it's always good to have conversations with children. Don't say they are too young. Don't say they are too young, because a lot of people assume that, oh, at that age, what am I saying to them, and all that. So, but it's from baby. In fact, when I was pregnant with him, I think I did a lot of talking. So maybe that's why he talks a lot now. I don't as in, I talk a lot to the baby, and you'll be wondering, I wish talk about, some very encouraging things, and things that are very affirmative, that and things like that. That's okay. He can maybe, and I see some of those things happening now. I mean, him doing some of those things, and I'm like, is it the things I've said to you even when we're in my womb that is now happening? So I realized he had a phobia. So talking about the maths, and I realized that he likes music. So what did I do? And I know that mathematics or arithmetic or whatever they call it is very important for him, whether I liked it or not, for any child. So what did I do? I tried to use music to teach him basic maths. I sing the songs, as in to be able to do the additions, and because he's a music lover, as in like he likes anything that is making sounds and he'll be moving to it. So he could quickly, receive that, and that helped him through that phase. Even his teacher was like, there's some things that you're doing that you come to school and be singing the song and be telling the teacher, oh, my mother taught me this song, and I haven't even learned a lot, from different songs I was able to come up with. I'm just using that. And he will say, oh, I want to be an astronaut. Then I tell him, okay, you want to be an astronaut? If you want to be an astronaut, you must know mathematics, you must understand arithmetic, you must understand sciences, you must. So some of those things, outside developing interest, knowingly or unknowingly, because we are having that conversation, all through. It's not just about shouting and beating and no. But again, you have to start having conversations, just like she said, talking them through the process so that they know. There's some people here that probably they don't have children and they just want to learn about goal setting. I just want to bring this up. So goal setting, like I said, cuts across all ages. So there are things around goal setting that I also have on my page, on my Instagram handle. You can go to my bio. There's a presentation. I did it in a video format in which you can learn a lot about goal setting. Things you need to know when you're setting your goals, and how you can set your goals, and how you can set smart goals that are achievable, not the no nonsense kind of goals that at the end of the day you have a time frame and you can work with that, and you can actually go back and review what you've done. So please go to my bio, and just like Adola said, she has a lot for children too, on what they can beyond goal setting, even other things that they are going to benefit from that boot camp. Okay, so maybe you want to tell us a little bit about you know um, just a second. Okay, do you want to share a bit about some of the things that you've accomplished over time, from your work, and how rewarding this has been? Some people might be looking at this, some probably have interest in this, some I just want to know that who are we dealing with here, and just be able to shed some light on that, right?
Okay, so I've been in this business since 2014, so that's about 9 years. Yeah, so I've been in
Mm-hmm.
this, this whole childhood, child-centered, business type of thing. And to be honest, the journey has actually been rewarding, because I see that a lot of parents actually, will testify that they actually need a whole lot of these things that the services that I provide for the children and all of that. When I started, I was in Lagos, and then I started with a book reading club. It was just a book reading club, that I just had that inspiration to start. And to be honest, the parents that came in, they were actually so like, I've been looking for this. Where have you been all my life? Like that kind of response. And it was actually very humbling because I just decided to just, let me just see. I was single then, I wasn't married. I just had that inspiration to start it, that children need to have this sort of engagement with them. And so when I started, the whole buzz was there. It was really, everywhere. And I really, really actually, I was very, very humbled. I was encouraged, and I continued to do it. Up until when I had to, I got married, and then I moved to Oyo State in Badon. And when I got into Oyo State, I actually had to study the terrain, study the environment, the kind of people I was dealing with, and all of that. I had to take a break from, that my business. I went and then I worked in a school for 5 years, just to understand, the children around here as well, and trying to see how I could come in and all. Now, my breaking point, well, my revamping point was during the COVID-19 year, 2020, where, everybody was at home. And then I thought about Starlight Kids, that, okay, you know what, I think I need to, revamp this right now, because there was a need again. Children were at home, and their parents were also having the whole confusion on how to engage them again. They were not sure when schools were going to open. They were confused. A lot reached out as well. I need to engage my children. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I still need them to be engaged some more. I started online engagement. I started with creativity. Creativity, making things. That's one of my passions. I love making things. I love creating stuff. If you give me scissors and cardboard now and some gum, you just see me, coming to life some more. So I do like making things. So I started with that. And then somebody told me, how will you be able to teach them over WhatsApp how to make things? I'm like, don't worry now, these are children. And children, obviously, they always also like making things as well. So I started doing that. And again, the reception was amazing. People were interested. The children were so interested. And then they kept making stuff. They kept sending me pictures, and then I also added book reading to it. I added a lot of things that they could engage themselves with. It was just so amazing. So during their stay at home, the children that were under my watch, they were actually covered in terms of, getting, engaged in things that made them. So I was able to do that. And I said, okay, I think I need to actually focus more on this and then see how to scale myself. And to the glory of God, that was just like the stepping point. I now added up, I started having more physical sessions. That after the COVID the whole lockdown, and I started to have more physical sessions. I added book reading into it. The Bible club to it, and then the creativity aspect of it as well. And then now this mentorship program that I'm doing. So it's just been amazing. The reception has been really cool, and I just want to thank God for it, because it's just God that has actually made it possible for me to be able to touch and impact the lives of children around. And I also want to do so much more. I have a whole lot of plans for the year. I mean, it will unfold as the year goes on. So that's just been my story so far.
Okay, thank you, Adola. And I want to say something. So I know she's been talking about the Christian Bible stories and all of that. It doesn't really matter that you can be a Muslim and it is anything. Come there, because it's about the Christian virtues actually. So she's going to invite those things. And in all religions, we have all this, virtues.
Morals.
It's morals. So I mean, it cuts across. So you can use the one that you're practicing to actually, introduce this to children. So I just want to talk about that. Then somebody was saying that, 9 years, wow. Oh, she looks pretty young. You can't be working with children and you don't look young. Yeah. You have to look the part. So that's it. So, anyway, I'm not saying you're old, though, so don't start feeling old. Okay, all right. So thank you, Beeswax. Yes, for godly values for children. Yes, very important. People have to, because a lot of people are moving away from this, and it's really affecting the society and the economy in which we live in. So we need to start bringing these things home. Yeah. I mean, in a couple of years ago, some of these things were like, as you're born, they're inviting these things in you, and you're working with it, whatever you're doing. So you remember, like my Yoruba people will say, I will say it in Yoruba, but I will try and bring it up in English. At times, it's always difficult when you want to translate some of these things. Like, what's your money to in Yoruba? That's Yoruba. Like, remember whose child you are, wherever you're going, that kind of thing. So that is not like, it's not in the Bible, it's not in the Quran, but everybody says it. So when a child is going somewhere, they'll say, remember whose
Where
child
you're
you are,
coming
where
from.
you're coming
Yes,
from, the home you're coming
yes,
from,
so
so that you don't misbehave. So it just keeps you in check. And anytime you want to do something, you remember, in fact, they must not just here at home, because they give you that warning. And those are things that we need to actually talk our children through and let them know some of these things. So it's not just the
very
I'm
true.
sending you to school, because school can do their own part, but we have to do ours as well. So that's why we are bringing this on board and many people to know more about this. Then Adola talked about something, a program in which she used to. So I'll dialing back a bit on some other aspects of this, that people, because this cuts across, like we're saying. So it's not just about children, but about even adults that want to do things with their lives. That want to set a path or a tone to whatever they're doing. So maybe it's business you want to start up, or you're already running. So there are programs in which you can do. She just mentioned the TNY, that's the Transforming Nigerian Youth Program, in which a lot of people can actually get for free. So it's free, but what you need to do is apply. When you apply, you start the program, and there are other parts of the program that people get, opportunities to be part of that, based on selection. But if you're able to complete what you need to complete, in the first phase, we get to the second phase, where you have business development experts working with you, and also, to be able to bring you up to, or scale, or help you scale your business in a way. So all these things are open to people that have joined, and many people that probably you don't have children, you join this because you want to be able to set. It's not just about setting goals, but setting goals for what. So you need to set your goals based on something that you have in mind.
You need
Like
to know
you
the
want to
why.
make, even if you want to, there will be why. If you want to make 20 billion, let me not talk in the million realm now, 20 billion in the next 5 months, how do you want to achieve that? You are not going to go Yahoo, you are not going to go that route. So you want to do things genuinely, and legitimate things, and you have to plan for this thing. So goal setting is more like planning. It's more like putting some things and acting on the plans that you've made for yourself within a specific period of time. So you can say it like that in a nutshell. So well, I know we've had a very good time. We are not going to take too much of our time. We don't want to keep people here. We just wanted to do about 45 minutes thereabout. So we have maybe 3 minutes to go. Adola has really said a lot of things about how even you can help your preteens and teens to be able to set their goals. You can learn more. That's just, you can just imagine the tip of the iceberg. And like, that's just like a little thing on top of it. So you can imagine when you now, go for the boot camp itself, how enriching it's going to be. And I know it's not just about the children. There are ways in which you carry along whoever is going to be paying for this, because parents and guardians are going to be paying for this. So to let them know what she's giving to them, I mean to the kids, so they would know that this is of real value, so real benefits. Even by the time the children are talking, the way they would express, and it always tells, it shows. It's always different when you engage in things like that than somebody that has not even gone through that kind of process. So please do this, enroll, and follow her as well on her Instagram handle. She will drop it here, you can see it.
Thank
That's why I
you,
say thank you,
Adwola. And it's
for your
Starlight Kids Academy as well for my
yeah.
company.
Okay, and also follow me, the host. When you want to learn more about business or what you can do. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you want to just start. You don't even you have ideas, or you're just trying to come up with ideas, or you have a business but it's still growing, or it's still at the startup phase. You can follow me as well, Lola. That's connect with Laugh on Instagram, and on Facebook, connect with Laugh. So please follow us. We have a lot to offer you, here and there. A lot of things we offer for free, but there are a few things that are for a fee. So what you are going to pay, even if you are going to pay for these things, you know that it's value. It's a lot of value that you are going to get from what we are going to be offering to you. So we like to do this kind of collaborations so that people can see how people things can evolve. Even right from when we're thinking about this, we're looking at, okay, it should cut across. So it's not just some particular set of people. Why you're engaging this? Why are you not engaging even the little ones? So that by the time they get to this stage, their minds are already renewed. Their minds are already thinking about this. You see a lot of people. I'm working with some group of people now, young people at the university stage, where they have entrepreneurship courses, and they're actually setting up businesses. They have ideas and they are trying to structure those businesses. So what I'm doing is guiding them, mentoring them through that process. When these people come out, do you think some of them will be looking for jobs? Maybe no. Maybe some of them are just going to say, oh, let me do something. It can be something creative like Adola is doing. It can be something else, but they are already thinking about how they can be on their own, because they already have that confidence, and they can actually move in that direction and say, okay, I want to do this for myself. I want to be able to start a business, rather than constituting all sorts of nuisances all around the place because they don't have jobs. People are not thinking. If a lot of people are thinking, they'll be able to get their hands on things, and from there they will keep working on those things until they are able to better structure or make a lot of money from it, or even get other people to work for them. There's a lot of young people now that have businesses that start up a lot, and I employ even their mothers and fathers to, in quotes, like, that they have that entrepreneurship mindset. So it's a mix of all of this, and it starts from what? It starts from when you're young. It starts from, because some of the things that she's teaching them is also on leadership, on a bit of self, what is it now, I think, self-discovery, their purpose for life and all of that. Please,
Purpose, yeah.
self-discovery,
Public
all of it. So
speaking.
yeah, so I know many people are going to watch this afterwards, and I will want you, encourage you to join us, follow us, and we will offer you a lot. So your last words, Adela, before we close this.
Okay,
The last
so
one to
children
our
are
audience.
sponges. Yes, so my last remark, children are sponges. We should be sure that we're giving them the things that we want them to actually have imbibe. So if you put water in a sponge, when you squeeze it out, it's water that will come out. If you put oil in a sponge, it's oil that will come out. If you put milk in a sponge, the milk will come out. Children are like sponges. Whatever you put in there will come out eventually. You won't be able to hide it. So let us, as parents, as caregivers, as anybody that loves, children around, let us be sure that we're intentional about what our children are getting, and we should give them the values that they actually really deserve. And then I'm here, like I said, to help walk your children through that path. And I want to appreciate you, Ma, for inviting me to this your platform. It's been very rewarding and engaging. Really nice to connect with you, Ma. And I hope we can do this again sometime in the future on maybe
Yes,
another
I'm
topic.
sure. Sure. I'll be happy to have you. This is really exciting, and I'm sure we are going to get a lot of comments and feedbacks. I always do, from different sessions I have. At times, I had one with an artist, and she called me afterwards, and she was like, not many people join, but she called me. She was like, people are calling me, and they're impressed. She does pencil and what do you call it, pen and pencil arts, and she's
Okay.
in a school. But people are calling
Wow.
her. We've gotten a lot of commissions and things. She's like, "Ah, even I can't even accommodate some of this because of school exams." But
Wow.
she's feeling like, I mean, it was after that people saw this, and I'm believing many people will see this as well, and they'll be able to, take advantage of this. And of course, definitely you share the details of when the program is going to start for those, and even for those that do not have children yet. You have siblings, you have young ones. So expose
Yes,
them to
like
this.
that sponsor.
Lola is not a very expensive person. She's very reasonable. And in fact, she's too reasonable for me, sir. She can tell you. I'm always like, ah, why? She's too reasonable with her fees, her costs. I'm like, do you actually? How will you make money? She said, ah, I'm doing it for you. She said, it's more like a social, not social cost has to be sustainable. But again, that is her because she's passionate. She just loves what she's doing. So on this note, I'm just going to be closing. I can see that one or two people just joined again. So, but you can watch the replay. It's going to be available on this. I'm going to share with her too, but it will be available on Lola.connect with Laugh, and it will also be on my Facebook and YouTube, which is Connect with Laugh. So you can see this and watch this and enjoy it. So do have a great day and
Thank you
enjoy
so
the rest
much.
of the day. We would like you to stay connected. All right. Bye
Thank
bye,
you. Bye.
everyone.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
And thanks to all that joined. We appreciate you.
Thank
Bye, bye,
you.
bye.